Folks, it is time for my final Oscar nomination predictions. Let's get into it. Alright folks, so as you can see, I have won my Oscar officially. I'd give a speech, but I'm trying to keep this video short, so let's get into it. That was loud, apologies. First of all, okay, Best Picture, folks. Easy, Nomadland. Alright, this is not even a questionable option. Then you have Minari, Trial of the Chicago 7, Mank, Father, Promising Young Woman, One Night in Miami, and then it gets tough. I predict, personally, that you will see 8 or 9 nominations, obviously up to 10. Starting next year, they have to do 10. They have to do 10 nominations, which will make predicting easier, to be sure. I predict, personally, I'm going to predict 8. I'm going to say Judas and the Black Messiah gets in. Could be Ma Rainey, of course, or it could be both with 9. I do not think Sound of Metal is getting in. I do not think News of the World is getting in. I do not think The Father is at all as tentative as people seem to think. The Father is definitive in. I think Judas or Ma Rainey could either miss, could both make, or one of them could make. And we will see on, March 15th. So, March 15th, folks, is when the nominations, of course not the ceremony itself, but the nominations are being announced. On this channel, I will have a reaction video. I will actually play the video, and I will react in person for the first time. I will personally shy away from all of any news headlines or whatnot before them. So come watch me, my first reaction to the nominations. If you, by that point, by the time you see the video, you'll know what they are, you'll know if they're crazy, and you'll see, my raw reaction to it. We're going to move on now to director. So again, Chloe Zhao, complete lock, likely to win, certainly to be nominated. David Fincher, Mank, easy. Lee Isaac Chung, Minari, easy. Emerald Fennell, Promising Young Woman, easy. And this one's tough for sure, the last spot. But I think Aaron Sorkin is tentative. I am going to predict him, but I think he could easily get swapped with Regina King. I don't think Spike Lee's getting it. Or even Florian Zeller, I think, could easily for The Father if enough of them liked it. And it could very well be Florian Zeller, but I am going to keep Sorkin there for the time being. For actors, folks, Frances McDormand, Carey Mulligan, Viola Davis, and Vanessa Kirby. Now, people have been tentative on Vanessa Kirby recently, which is unfortunate. I thought she gave a great performance. But I do understand where it's coming from. She has kind of lost steam. I do personally think that you still will see her get nominated. And Andra Day as well, I think, riding off of the Golden Globes, will get nominated. And just because everyone else is such a long shot at this point in the race, you're not going to see Zendaya, you're not going to see Amy Adams. So I think that this top 5 is one of the easiest of the night. Folks, for actor, you have Chadwick Boseman, of course, a lock. Anthony Hopkins, Riz Ahmed, Gary Oldman, I think, is in, and I think Steven Yeun is in. Now, there are a few assumptions I'm making about this year's Oscars in order to accurately predict them. I'm predicting that they will not like Da 5 Bloods. I'm predicting that they will very, very much like The Father, and I'm predicting that they will like The Mauritanian. So I think, and Minari. I think they will really like Minari. So with that knowledge, I have predicted Steven Yeun over Delroy Lindo. I do not think Delroy Lindo will get nominated because, again, I don't think they will like Da 5 Bloods. They already voted, so did like Da 5 Bloods. Tahar Rahim, I could see get in here for The Mauritanian, especially, if any of the other Mauritanian performances get nominated. But I do think that they will like Minari quite a bit, leading to Steven Yeun's nod. Supporting actress. Anyone following this race will tell you that this is easily the most confusing and most unpredictable category of the bunch. I'm going to put Maria Bakalova. She's had that steam. She's won a few times. She's been nominated pretty much everywhere. She has that narrative. Olivia Colman, great performance in The Father. Amanda Seyfried, I am a little nervous about. Yu Jung-yeon, I don't think is quite as lock as everyone thinks she is, but I do think that she's getting in there. And Glenn Close versus Jodie Foster is a tough one. I'm going to put Jodie Foster because, again, I am banking on the fact that they will like The Mauritanian. Could easily be Glenn Close. I could easily be a fool. And we will have to wait and see whether both or none of those things are true. Supporting actor, Daniel Kaluuya, lock. Sacha Baron Cohen, Leslie Odom Jr., Paul Raci. And then the fifth one is tough, of course. But since I don't think they will like The 5 Bloods, and I think most of them, presumably are voting for Chadwick Boseman for Ma Rainey's, I don't think that they will want to give him 2 awards, and I do think that they will go with Alan Kim from Minari because, again, I think they will like that film. I think they will want to reward this up-and-coming star performance. Everyone thinks he's cute. Everyone thinks he's incredible. And I do think that he will sneak in there over Chadwick Boseman. Adapted screenplay, Nomadland's been crushing this one. I think The Father just has such a powerful screenplay. One Night in Miami, that they're both easily in here. Ma Rainey could certainly go either way, and I think, again, I'm predicting quite a long shot with the Mauritanian because I think they will really like it. News of the World could easily get in here, depending on how much they like that one. I don't think they will like it as much as everyone seems to think they will, but I am going to go with the Mauritanian, and that will either pay off by quite a bit or fail me. For original screenplay, you have The Trial of the Chicago 7. Again, I've learned my lesson. I'm not going to bet against it, but it could always be Promising Young Woman. I've warned in some previous videos that you should keep an eye out for this race. It could go either way. Minari, Mank, and Sound of Metal. I think Sound of Metal is in there at this point. Yeah, I think that's a pretty solid top 5. For cinematography, Nomadland and Mank are easy. And then you have a few tough ones. I put Tenet and News of the World, who I think both have solid enough cinematography that, they will get in. And I'm going for a bit of a long shot on Minari, which I said in my review of it, by the way, should be up there, that I thought the cinematography was incredible. I personally wouldn't vote for it to win, but I absolutely would vote to give it a nomination. And I hope maybe my wishful thinking will it into existence, the fact that it gets in here. So we will see. Think of me if Minari gets into Best Cinematography. Costume design, Ma Rainey, Mank, News of the World, Emma, United States versus Billie Holiday. Another assumption I'm making is that they will not like Mulan really at all. And I think that Mulan is, I don't think Mulan is getting nominated pretty much anywhere, to be honest with you. And I think that United States versus Billie Holiday has Andra Day going for it at this point. And even if you didn't like the film, the costume design was good enough. So Mulan, of course, could get in here. I could be a fool, but I don't think they'll like it. Film editing, Trial of Chicago 7, maybe Sound of Metal, not that low, but all of these are really solid picks. And I'd find a hard time believing any of these get snubbed in favor of other films just because they are all such highbrow editing. They've been nominated pretty much everywhere. Everyone generally agrees that these are some of the best edited films of the year. I think this is your top 5. For makeup and hair, Ma Rainey. This one's a little tough. Ma Rainey, Hillbilly Elegy, just because you have old people makeup. I guess I don't really know. Birds of Prey, Mank. Tough one. But I am going to put Pinocchio in there just because if you look at some of the photos of Pinocchio makeup and hairstyling, it is absolutely incredible. It's really, really good. And I think that if the voters really watched all the films, then I'd have a hard time believing Pinocchio will not get in. But of course, Emma is the more mainstream one, and I do think that that's always a possibility. Production design, Mank, Ma Rainey, News of the World. Again, no Mulan showing, just because I don't see it getting in anywhere. Again, a lot of controversy surrounding it. Not a lot of people watched it. I don't see that happening, and I think, again, a nice solid top 5. If The Father shows up here, I will be very happy and sort of surprised. You know what? Should I do it on air? I'm going to go for the long shot. I'm going to swap Emma for The Father on air right now. Again, I forgot to mention this at the beginning, but I always have I reserve the right to change my predictions at any point from this video being released, or me filming it technically right now, to the actual predictions, and I will show proof if I do. Of course, I'm not a liar. But I am going to put The Father there just because, wow, that was some production design in that movie. For score, Soul. Won at the Globes. I think that's a solid, winner. Even Mank, Minari, Tenet, News of the World, easy top 5. Midnight Sky is possible Desplat, but I think it's maybe not original enough for them. And I think Tenet just has more of that. It's more, you can feel it more. I feel like, just the bass. It really overloads the sound even in that film. And it might get nominated in sound, as I'll talk about in a bit. But yeah, I think the score is just so overpowering not to nominate it. Song, this one I'm not entirely, I really don't know or care, quite frankly. But Speak Now, IOC, Fight For You, Hear My Voice, and I put Husavik at the bottom just because, sometimes they like that. Again, mainstream one. Could be Wuhan Flu from Borat, could sub either of those. Or, could be Turntables from All In, Fight For Democracy. I don't care. Whatever gets nominated, gets nominated. I don't really care. For sound, though, I sort of do care because I expect Sound of Metal, Tenet, Mank, Soul, and probably News of the World. I'm not sure I see Ma Rainey getting nominated here. Oh, another thing I'm banking off of, by the way, is that they will like Ma Rainey, but I don't know if it will rise to the level of other films that they see here. And so I'm not expecting Ma Rainey to get over-nominated. It might not even get a picture nom, But I think since Chadwick Boseman's performance is there, you know, sort of calling attention to it. If that wasn't there, I'm not sure it'd show up anyway. And Viola Davis, of course, nominated Best Actress. But I don't think it'll show up in sound, and I think News of the World takes its spot. For visual effects, I think Tenet, Midnight Sky, Mank, these guys are locks. Oh, I lied, because I did put Mulan here, because I don't know what the hell else to pick. But I've heard some buzz for Welcome to Chechnya, which is apparently, you know, an international feature film. Is it a documentary too? Maybe I'm wrong. I don't think so, actually. But apparently they use, I haven't seen it, apparently they use visual effects well, you know, they utilize it well. Because it's not always about, you know, what is the biggest, what's the best. What it is about, what's the best, is what about the biggest, like Tenet. Sometimes it's the subtle usages and how it affects it. Sort of like sound, with Sound of Metal. Maybe not, you know, the biggest, the loudest sound, but it uses it the most effectively. So, for animated features, Soul, everyone has this in their top 5, literally everyone on the planet, because that is the biggest lock of all time. Wolfwalkers, also quite a big lock. Over the Moon, Onward, and then The Croods and New Age. I'm pretty confident about that top 5. But then again, what do I know about animated features? Documentary, Chechnya was one, because you have Time, Collective, Dick Johnson is Dead, Chechnya, and Boy State. These are the Gold Derby top 5, so I'm not too original here. But again, I know nothing about these documentaries. I did start watching Dick Johnson. I didn't get to finish it. But, you know, if you get nominated there, congratulations. International film, another round. Just the buzz around that, I think, is too... Well, we'll get nominated, but I think it's enough to make it win. Kyo Vadis Aida, I kind of want to watch that one because, again, you know, a lot of buzz around it. Collective, Two of Us, and La Llorona. Again, I don't know a lot about international films, so I'm just trusting other people's picks. Animated short, If Anything Happens, I Love You. I'm not going to talk too much about these. You'll see them on screen. If you see them, you see them. I did see that one. Wasn't too impressed, to be quite honest, but of course it is a sensitive subject matter, and apparently it touched a lot of people emotionally, so I expect that to be your winner. For documentary short, again, I'm just going to show it for a few seconds. There it is. You should see it because I don't know anything about it, and I'm just going off of other people's opinions. And live action short, of course, same thing. Top 5 that everyone picked. Swapped around because, I don't know, maybe to be different. I don't really care. But that's the top 5 I'm predicting. And I think that brings it to a close, folks. It does. So, folks, there are your final Oscar nomination predictions. Will I be incredibly correct like the Critics' Choice in my video last week, I believe? Or will I be incredibly wrong like the BAFTAs and the Globes? Time will tell. But one thing that is certain is I do have my Oscar. I've been EDPC Reviews with an Oscar. You've been amazing, and I will see you folks, hopefully, at my Oscar nomination reaction. I'd like to thank you, the viewer.